Joining me now is celebrity and royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, let's start with Violet Affleck, the daughter of Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck. She was given the honour of speaking at the United Nations, where she had this to say about mask mandates. She apparently wants everyone back masked all the time. She's still wearing her mask.
When it comes to the ongoing pandemic, our present is being stolen right in front of our eyes. For adults, the relentless beat of back to normal, ignoring, downplaying, and concealing both the prevalence of airborne transmission and the threat of long COVID, manifested in a series of choices. Young people lacked both real choice in the matter and information about what was being chosen for us. Every subsequent infection increases the risk of long COVID and places people who already have it in greater danger. Here's what we don't know, is what it does to reinfect children over and over and over again with no end point in sight from the day they are born.
She needs help, that much is clear. I don't know what her parents were thinking allowing her to do that. She's 19, but let's be honest, Kinsey, she was only given that platform because of how famous her parents are.
Yeah, her dad was Batman. You know, I'd prefer him in a mask constantly if it's the Batman mask. But, you know, President Trump has repeatedly criticized the United Nations, questioning its purpose and effectiveness. I mean, this is basically all the testimony we need to prove that he is correct. This is the evidence. What is the UN if not a glorified stage for a paranoid Nepo baby? And let me say on the record that I've seen her in Brentwood without a mask on in the past. So practice what you preach, girl. Yes.
Kinsey, moving along to the royals, let's talk about Prince William. He's made a heartbreaking admission in an upcoming episode of Apple TV's The Reluctant Traveller. He revealed, Kinsey, how Kate's cancer battle took a toll on him.
Is this not the antithesis of Prince Harry? Yeah, Prince William, he admitted 2024 was the hardest year I've ever had. And this is with his sit down with comedian Eugene Levy. But what stands out is the attitude behind the honesty. By reflecting that life's challenges are what shape us, William showed us that he's not a perpetual victim. He seems grateful to have made it through this experience. And that courage and strength is exactly what resonates with people. So I really thought that this was a beautiful moment, a great moment for him. And while I'm sad to hear that last year was such a horrific experience, it's so refreshing to hear someone say, but I lived through it, onward and upward, you know, and I'm grateful that I survived.
There's a lot to be said about gratitude. Now, sources have claimed that Prince Andrew and his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson have been told they are not welcome at the royal family's Christmas celebrations amid fresh allegations surrounding their involvement with pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein. Kinsey, what more can you tell me about this story?
Yes, so this is according to a report in the London Sunday Times that Prince Andrew and Fergie will not be invited to Sandringham. Now, I don't generally advise anyone to avoid church, but in Andrew's case, maybe he could spend a little more time in church privately rather than making headlines next to his very famous family. The Daily Beast reports that this is a win for Prince William, as Prince Andrew will never be photographed alongside Prince William again, they said. I'm sorry, but the head of the Church of England should not be regularly seen next to someone on an Epstein flight log. That means you too, Bill Clinton, if you're watching. I know you are. I know you love Rita, Bill.
Now, the ex-wife of Oscar-winning actor Colin Firth, her name is Olivia Gugili, I probably mispronounced that, but never mind. She's torn up her royal order, the most excellent order of the British Empire, and she did this, Kinsey, as an act of defiance over what she calls the UK's appeasement of President Donald Trump. Let's have a look at her hijinks.
I'm returning it. This is my certificate, accept it. And the reason why I'm doing this is the post box is going.
What an attention seeker. You could just do that quietly. Why do we need to share it on the internet? Has she got much of a reaction to that?
Of course she has. I mean, at first I thought I loathed this woman because she had the audacity to cheat on Colin Firth, aka Mr. Darcy. But this just sent it up a notch, right? So what she doesn't understand is that the royal family was instructed by Keir Starmer, their prime minister, to host Donald Trump because he had some ulterior motives, which he actually got millions of dollars, whether it's trade and in new opportunities, new business opportunities for the UK and the United States. So this shouldn't be on the royal family. I just think that this entire thing is ridiculous. Obviously, this is a woman who didn't do her homework.
But the royal
And I bet
family, Kinsey, the royal family is supposed to be entirely apolitical, and that's part of their strength, and that's part of why they're beloved. And of course, they're going to host the leader of the free world, the president of the United States. He had an unprecedented second reception there, but of course they're going to do that. I mean, to think otherwise, you would have to be a simpleton. Now, let's move on to a more significant story. Comedian and actor Tim Allen has taken to X to reveal that Erica Kirk's speech, where she forgave Charlie's killer, inspired him to forgive his father's killer. He wrote, "When Erica Kirk spoke the words on the man who killed her husband, that man, that young man, I forgive him, that moment deeply affected me." He also wrote, "I have struggled for over 60 years to forgive the man who killed my dad. I will say those words now as I type. I forgive the man who killed my father. Peace be with you all." That's rather powerful, Kinsey.
My favorite Santa Claus, by the way. This moment of grace
Yes.
struck a chord with him, and it also highlights what many fans have always known about Alan. He's not just a comedian, he's someone grounded in conservative traditional values, personal accountability, faith, forgiveness, and a belief in redemption. In an era when much of Hollywood leans heavily into progressive messaging, Alan's brand of wholesome, family friendly comedy and his clear moral center feel like a breath of fresh air to a lot of people.
And let's not forget, he got cancelled. His show was cancelled despite its enormous ratings and popularity because of his personal politics. So all those people who were triggered about Jimmy Kimmel being off air for like a couple of days for deliberately lying, I didn't see them coming out in support of Tim Allen when that happened. I want to ask you about country music sensation Jason Aldean. He's been paying tribute to Charlie Kirk, and he played this video at the start of his recent concert tour. Kinsey, I saw Jason and his wife at Charlie's funeral in Phoenix. They were clearly deeply impacted by Charlie's murder.
I mean, Aldean, similar to Tim Allen, what we're just talking about, can relate to Charlie Kirk's legacy. He talked about that 2023 single, Try That in a Small Town. It drew backlash and was briefly pulled from CMT. And he said that people like Charlie Kirk were the first to say, this is what it's all about, this country coming together, you know, calling out stuff when we see it, trying to get everything back on track. So I do know that they had a great relationship and they really admired each other. But I cannot tell you how many people I've had to block and unfollow over the last few weeks that have no idea about this man, but were quick to judge Charlie. I mean, have some empathy over the fact that this is a father that no longer gets to raise the babies he was so proud of, and in these babies that don't have a dad. I'm grateful to people like Jason Aldean that'll speak up for him and will be kind and honest about who Charlie Kirk was.
Yep, a lot of people have told on themselves in the last 2 weeks, and so much of that invective, so much of that ugliness is born out of complete ignorance, because what they claim Charlie said and what he stood for are almost always completely incorrect. And you know what? I'm not even interested in correcting them anymore. You just ignore them because they're not worth the trouble. Life's too short. Now, Matthew McConaughey, life's never too short for him. He's revealed in a new interview that he and his mother, Mary Kathleen Kay McConaughey, once fell out for almost a decade. They barely spoke because, I can't believe this, Kinsey, she was leaking stories to the press.
I mean, I sort of love this story because it's so relatable. Like the mom that's so proud of you that she can't keep her mouth shut about you. I mean, obviously, I feel bad for him. They've since reconciled and even work together now. And this is another example of this wholesome reinvention. Hard to believe that this is the same guy who was once known for pot smoking and bongo playing in Austin, Texas. He's been very vocal about his beliefs and the importance of God in his life, particularly after having children. Despite issues with his mom, he seems like a really great father.
Kinsey, he is a beloved actor. I would say if you were going to judge the acting world right now, he would be the most popular male actor. And the fact that he moved his family out of Hollywood so he could raise them in a more wholesome setting speaks volumes about the type of man he is.
I totally agree. And he's not too bad to look at either.
I think that has a lot to do with his appeal. Let's be honest. Kinsey Schofield, thank you so much for your time.